Greetings, I am Namaya Bryant, a fourth-year accounting scholar here at Florida A&M University, and today we're going to discuss the Peach State University case. For this case, we'll be auditing Peach State University, or PSU's, fiscal year 2016. Their fiscal year begins on July 1st, 2015, and ends June 30th, 2016. PSU is a hotel and conference center that is a subsidiary of Collegetown Incorporated. And like most hotels in the vicinity of major universities, their peak times of business are during football season, homecoming, and graduation. Within the hotel, there are 200 rooms and suites and a larger facility to accommodate meetings and social occasions. To carry out the day-to-day operations of the hotel, there are 180 on-site employees. The conference center function makes up about 75% to 90% of revenue on a monthly basis. For Peach State University, all administrative functions are handled by their corporate office. It's important to note that during November and December of 2015 and January of 2016, Peach State University underwent renovations in their hotel, causing them to lose out on some revenue. Also, they had a refrigerator and freezer malfunction that caused them to lose their perishable foods in the process. Tableau is a data analytics software that takes raw data and spits it out to become something more understandable and makes it easier to analyze what you've been given. Now that Tableau is open, we're going to click on the Open a Workbook link. This will take you to browse your computer's documents. Make sure you're selecting a Tableau compatible workbook. This is the dashboard that we're taken to once we upload our workbook. Here you can see all the possible tests and areas we could look to analyze the data in that sense. The balance sheet analysis is going to help us analyze the balance sheet. Same for the income statement. Monthly activity breaks down transactions that have happened by month to allow us to see what's going on. On the bottom is also the quick links to those tests where we can go in and analyze what we have so far. There's also a user guide here where you're able to click through and kind of understand the purpose of each test that you're running. This allows for you to be able to figure out where you need to go for the specific info that you're looking for. This is the balance sheet analysis area where you can see the company's assets, liabilities, and equity. At the bottom in gray, you can see the total assets or the total liabilities. And you also have percentage change and dollars change for you to be able to further analyze. Let's say you want to see a breakdown of all the accounts. You're going to go to where it says assets and control click, and it shows you the lead sheet for the balance sheet. This shows you all the accounts that are classified as assets, where you can also see the dollars change and percentage change year over year. You can see that for the current year, the assets total $18,494,703. And compared to last year, it's a 14.6% increase. This increase may be attributed to food service inventory that had a huge jump of 367% increase year over year. Resulting in that 14.6% increase. Next, we can go to liabilities, control click again, and you can see that there are 5 accounts that make up the liabilities for Peach State University. And again, you can see current year, prior year, dollar change, and percent change. Now we want to analyze building and building improvements. For the current year, it's currently valued at $32,139,467, which is a result of a 9.7% increase from prior year. This jump makes sense due to the fact that the hotel underwent improvements in fiscal year 16. Now we're going to go into the income statement analysis. Here it's the same deal. You see revenues and expenses with current year, prior year, dollar change, and percentage change. We can see that the total revenue acquired was $9,297,222, which is a 1.2% increase from prior year. Now we're going to do a lead sheet for income statement to see a breakdown of expenses. We're looking for the travel expenses to see how that's changed from prior year to current year. We can see that it increased by 245.1% from prior year. Now we're going to go into the monthly analysis section. This is one of the most useful tools that you can use in Tableau because it shows you month by month what the company's revenues looked like or any other account that you want to inquire about. Now this screen may look like a lot, but if you narrow it down to what you're really looking for, it can be very useful. What we're going to do is limit it to only the revenues. As a result, it's going to show you the same screen, but we're interested in this graph. Once we make it bigger, it's clear to see the trend from 2015 and 2016 in regards to revenue per month. This graph can be a little difficult to see, and it's easy to edit the colors to make it easier for you. Here, I'm just changing 2016 to blue and 2015 to brown. Now you can see clearer the difference between 2015 numbers and 2016 numbers. But wait, the problem is that since revenues are credits, they get brought in as negative numbers. So the graph is actually flipped. To make it easier to read, all you have to do is Control-click, go to Edit Axis, and then select that you want the axis reversed. So now your 0 is at the bottom and the highest number is at the top. From that, we can see that the peak season was October of 2015, with the highest point there and the lowest point being January of 2016. 2015 didn't have the same steep decline, which is something to look into. There's also another declining point at August 2016 and the same for 2015. And now we're going to go to the dimension analysis. Here, our target is to try to find all the journal entries prepared by Yvonne Chapman. So we're going to go and select the revenues. We want them just for 2016. This time we're going to select preparer instead of source. And we're going to click Yvonne's name. This gave us the sum of all of Yvonne's monthly totals. Here, making it bigger, you can just see it again by month and the grand total. Now I want to turn this into a chart, which is easier and prettier to read. So I'm going to go to my favorite chart, and you can see here that this aligns with what we already know, that October was the highest grossing revenue month and January was the lowest. Again, the totals are flipped, so if you want, you can do it the same thing we did last time edit the axis, click reversed, and it's a bit easier to read. Now we're going to go to gross margin analysis. The graph is already prepared for us. All we have to do is make it a little bit bigger. So here, this shows us gross margin per month in 2015 and 2016. And we can see that the curve is relatively flat, showing that it didn't fluctuate much for both of those years. However, there is a big drop in August for 2016, which was only 61%. The highest for that fiscal year was 81%. 20 whole percent deficit, and that's a long way to climb. We've gotten what we needed from the original workbook. We're going to go and add the new workbook that contains the fraud section where we can better analyze journal entries to find things that are unusual. So again, you go to open a workbook, you're going to locate the proper worksheet, and it'll take you to the same screen. We're going to go straight to the date analysis. With fraudulent journal entries, many of them occur at the end of the period. So what we want to do is further analyze this. So we're looking for the revenue ones. So we're going to go for sale for the dining and sale for the hotel. We want them just for 2016. Credits and debits are okay. And we want the effective date, the date that they actually post to the GL. And again, we're going to focus on the last 10 days of the period. So we're going to select the last 10 days. Here, it gives you a breakdown of the last 10 days. We're mostly concerned with June because that's where our fiscal year ends. I made it bigger so you can see what it looks like a bit wider. But as I said before, we're mostly concerned with June. Here you see that the greatest activity happened on June 22nd. So to understand what's happening at that period, we want to look at the underlying journal entry items. Here, it gave us a list of all the journal entries from the dates that we selected, June 21st to June 30th. I'm going back through the filters to make sure that it's only giving us the necessary information that we want. We want just for 2016. We want just the end of 2016. We only want the accounts, the revenue accounts, for hotels and for dining. Primarily, I want to look at credit card receipts since they were the highest. And everything else looks okay. So what it's doing is just showing us all the journal entries that occurred in the last 10 days of the period. accompanied by who prepared them, what the source of them is, when it was entered, when it became effective, the debits and the credits, the accounts classes that are going to be affected, and other important information. Well, there you have it. Tableau is a very powerful tool that helps with data analytics and makes it very easy to understand, and is user-friendly. I hope this helped. Thank you.